Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us at this hour for Stories Making Headlines. I'm Dominic Mwashikele. Prime Minister Sangula says all state-owned enterprises should contribute to Namibia's development and stop being bottomless pits draining government coffers. The Premier met the NBC's top management at his office today and urged them to ensure that the company operated on sound business principles. Since taking over as NBC Director General a year ago, Albertus Agumup has introduced changes to the television program schedule and redeployed some staff members. Today, Agumup led his top management for a meeting with Prime Minister Angula. The Premier was delighted to receive the delegation, and as chairperson of the State-Owned Enterprise Council, he wants to see NBC succeeding. The Ministry of Education today handed over technical equipment valued at $90 million to the Namibia Training Authority. The consignment was handed over by Education Minister Dr. Abraham Yambo, who described it as a clear demonstration of government's commitment towards the development and expansion of vocational education in the country. The issue of expanding vocational training was deliberated by the National Conference on Education, and recently Cabinet adopted all recommendations at the conference, including the expansion of vocal training centers. The consignment is the first of its kind in 20 years and forms part of government efforts of developing skills in the quest of solving the problem of unemployment among the youth. Prime Minister Sangula says food security should be the starting point in fighting malnutrition and poverty in the country. The Premier says the distribution of food to needy people is a challenge in Namibia, and hence the importance of the private sector's contribution to national food security. Angula was addressing farmers at the annual Maize Production Championship organized by Grootfontein Farmers Association, where he was invited to witness the crowning of Gerard Kambonde as maize champion. The harvest feast was held at Farm Irvington, which is situated in what is commonly known as the Maize Triangle of Otavi, Tsumeb, and Grootfontein. The Premier expressed happiness with the work of the Grootfontein Farmers Association, especially in its quest to increase food security. In business news, envisaged amendments to the 1919 Foreign Investment Act are expected to be completed by the end of the year. In the coming weeks, Trade and Industry Ministry will source inputs from various stakeholders for possible inclusion into the changes to be made to be statute. Dr. Hage Gengop says the alterations to be made will include defining sectors in which foreigners can invest and identify those reserved for locals. The Foreign Investment Act was among the first to be enacted soon after independence, and one of its shortcomings is the fact that it is only targeting foreign investors, as the title suggests, making no mention of local investors. Therefore, the title could be changed to the Investment Act to provide for both local and foreign investors. In international news, scuffles broke out as the trial of former President Hosni Mubarak resumed in Egypt's capital, Cairo. Riot police had to separate anti- and pro-Mubarak crowds outside the police academy courthouse where the trial was taking place. The 83-year-old is accused of ordering the killing of protesters during the uprising earlier this year, which ended his rule. He denies the charges. This is the third hearing of the trial. The judge has banned live TV coverage at earlier court hearings. TV images showed Mubarak, who led Egypt for 30 years, in a cage on a sick bed. The footage made compulsive viewing for people across the Arab world. Emotions were running high outside the court as some people chanted in favor of Mubarak and others said he should be hung. In sports news, the 2011 edition of the annual MTC, Namibia National Sports Commission Awards, was launched in the capital today. The event, where the country's top performers at local, national, regional and international level are recognized, will take place on the 4th of November in the capital. The organizers of the award ceremony are looking forward to a memorable and problem-free occasion following last year's outcry about the nomination criteria and the way judging was conducted. There will be 12 categories in total, with the Sportsman and Sportswomen of the Year award the most sought-after prizes on the evening. All sports codes are eligible to enter nominations in each category, and the nominees' achievements should be from the 15th of October 2010 to the 15th of this month. Well, that was all the headlines we had for you tonight. For me, Dominic Mwashikele, bye for now.